Hi everybody, it's Sarah Nissen from sarahnissen.com, coming to you today from San Diego, where it's kind of overcast out. It's cooler today than usual. Today, on my second part of the three-part mini-series I'm doing, I wanted to talk about the first thing that started on my journey, but the most important piece, because it happens multiple times a day, in helping myself and my son heal from the inside out, is food, of course. Real food. So what does that mean to me? What is real food? Why do I talk about that? And what is it? Real food, for me, is food that nourishes my cells and my son's cells. Real food. So things that come from, I know this is going to be kind of hard or overwhelming for some people, but things that come from packages that are pre-made are typically less than ideal food. The way that our great-great-grandparents ate, probably even before that, would be considered real food. To me, things like, so I think that one of our biggest downfalls this day and age is the way that we eat as humans. The majority of humans on this planet now are eating processed foods, lots of omega-6s, which are vegetable oils, lots and lots of vegetable oils, and the ratios of the animal fats to the vegetable oils that we eat is way off. I mean, there's lots of numbers like omega-3, omega-9, omega-6. They're all necessary in our diet, but the ratios are way, way off. The way nature intended us to eat was to eat a balance. We are meant to eat I believe we're meant to eat some meat, but we're also meant to eat the fat with the meat. Not a boneless, skinless chicken breast, but a chicken thigh with the pieces of cartilage, skin, fat that come with it. The organs from the chicken, the broth made from the entire chicken. So we get all the nutrients from the animal. I used to be vegetarian for ethical reasons, so I understand that's kind of disgusting to some people. It was kind of disgusting to me, but now I realize that I value using the entire animal. If I'm going to be having this animal sacrifice its life for my son's and my nourishment, I want to utilize it in as much capacity as I can. So real food, that would be considered real food. Real organic vegetables. Vegetables are less important to me, actually, than animal fats and good meats. Of course, they're important, but the quality of vegetables we can get here on Earth, basically, is less than ideal. So the top quality you can get would be organic, because at least it's not sprayed. Even the soil that food is grown in is lesser quality than it used to be, but let's not get depressed about that. Let's just eat the best that we can. So the best that we can would be, if you can only get it from a grocery store, get organic. I mean, even Walmart, even the big Targets, those stores have organic vegetables these days, thank goodness. Traditional grocery stores have vegetables, have fruits. Minimal fruits, because I think fruits are, they're much bigger than they would have been back then. They're much far removed, so fruits are not as necessary, I don't think. They have more sugar than is necessary. But real food, if you're going to go between, a breakfast bar of some sort, like a granola bar, and a piece of fruit and an egg, like, definitely choose the piece of fruit and the egg. So, yeah. I'm really passionate about this, so I could go on and on and on. But real food for me is real meat, real vegetables that are organic, fresh, not canned, not, frozen is fine, but organic, because it's not sprayed with pesticides. It's grown in different soil. we do the best we can. If you can grow it at your house, great. Most people may not be able to do that. If you can get it from a farmer's market, excellent. If you can trade with neighbors who have a garden, great. Eggs. Eggs are another really, really important food that are wonderful when they are grown and raised well. Like I mentioned in a previous video, chickens love to run around, they love to be in the sun, they love to bathe in the dirt, they love to shake their feathers and get all dusty, and it's hilarious to watch. I used to find so much joy in just watching our chickens dust bathe because it's just so funny. They're just joyous and in the moment, and they just have a great time. So chickens that were raised that way, eggs that come from chickens that were raised that way, the joy, the happiness from the chicken's life comes into the energy from it comes into the egg, I believe, So it's worth paying a little bit more for that. Real eggs have more nourishment. If they're pastured, which means they get to run around and dust bathe like that, then there's actually more nutrients in them. There's more omega-3s. The balance of the fats is healthier, and that's how they're meant to be. Imagine our great-grandparents' farms, right? Or whatever, even farther back than that. They didn't have factory farms of animals back then until it's switched up and changed in the past 100 years or so. So the cows should be roaming around on pasture, not locked up in a feedlot, is what they call them. It's just atrocious to me how cows are put into feedlots, into confinement, and then fed all kinds of things that they're not meant to eat. Cows are meant to eat grass and the little potential seeds that are on the grass, but they're meant to eat grass. That's it. Not anything else. Not soybeans, not corn. Corn is a seed, maybe they would eat one piece of corn, but not a majority of their diet. So the balance is way, way off for what we are feeding them. And we have the responsibility, I believe, as humans, because we are raising these animals, to raise them in a way that's moral and ethical, and that keeps them alive, not for the short term, right? But the species, the health of the species, of our own human species, as well as the animals. Cows in feedlots are raised just so they can fatten them up as quickly and then slaughter them and then get more money. So for me, it's not just about the money, it's about the nutrients, the life that the animal led. It's really important to me. And I want to share that. I want to spread that message. So what else? Let's see. Sugars. So I talked about the fats briefly. Sugars. Processed sugar, I think, is not good. We have lots of other options that are much healthier than just processed white sugar. Number one, if you don't get organic white sugar, it's genetically modified. It comes from beetroots or sugarcane. Sugarcane is GMO now, even. So you've got to get organic, but there are better options like honey, raw honey, maple syrup, organic maple syrup. There's something called rapadura or succanat that is just cane syrup squeezed and dried, so it's brown. It has more nutrients in it, so your body is expecting, when it gets something sweet, it's expecting a whole bunch of things with it, not just the sugar. So if you eat the whole spectrum of the food, including the minerals that came from the sugar cane, your body responds to it differently. They call it the glycemic index and that kind of thing. I don't get into like the great details of it because I really think that, like the glycemic index and stuff, I really think that, if we just trust how nature has done it for years before humans kind of got in and switched everything up, that's the way that it's meant to happen. Our bodies digest amazingly when we eat what we're supposed to, when we eat natural, real whole foods. So let's see, yeah, and I mean the oils for me are one of the bigger ones. The sugars, reducing sugar and eating more natural foods. and the oils. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a challenge if you would like to take me up on this. I would love, this is just a simple one, just awareness basically. So I'd love for you to take a look in your cabinets and see what kind of oils you have in your cabinets. This includes cooking oils and in your fridge. So things like less than ideal oils would be things like sunflower oil, safflower oil, soybean oil, or something just called vegetable oil. That's usually soybean oil. Those are higher in omega-6s, and because we need omega-6, but we need less of them because of the balance being off. So more like ideal things would be grass-fed butter. Even not grass-fed butter is still better. Tallow, beef tallow, lard. Not a lot of people these days have those things in their fridge or cabinet. Ghee is purified butter. Olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. Now that's a good one, but there are only certain brands that are good because there's a lot of fraud in the industry because olive oil is expensive. So a lot of people are cutting it with cheaper oils and you wouldn't even know. So you've got to get an extra virgin olive oil that is certified. A lot of the ones that come from California or Spain and Italy, if they come from a reputable company, are generally good, but you don't know. So let's see, go look into your cabinet and tell me what kind, let's do an olive oil challenge. So besides the fats, what kind of olive oil do you have in your cabinet if you have olive oil? And let's go, and I'll give you, you can post the name of it or a picture of it, and I'll let you know I'll reply in the comments and let you know if it is real olive oil or not. I'll do the research for you and figure it out for you. How about that? And then I'll show you what kind of olive oil we have, and I'll come back tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about mindfulness and self-care and self-love for the parents so that we can teach our children that as well. We model it for our kids to get through the hard times, the easy times, all the times. Being able to love ourselves and care for ourselves. It's something that I recently learned. I had heard that, didn't know what that meant, but what it takes is practice. So tomorrow I'm going to come talk about that, and I will see you then. So post in the comments what kind of olive oil is in your cabinet. Just the brand, maybe a picture of it would be awesome. And I will do the research and let you know whether it's pure olive oil or not. All right, talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.